This is the Trinidad and Tobago National Commission for UNESCO, the United Nations educational, scientific and cultural organization, of which Trinidad and Tobago has been a member for more than 40 years. As a catalyst for change, science, both the natural and social sciences, technology and innovation, communication and information are encouraged and supported.
Trinidad and Tobago had at the time, and it still does, a significant cadre of scientists. Some individuals, for instance, like Professor Ramki Soon at the university, who got a lot of resources from UNESCO.
In 1998, the Caribbean Academy of Sciences celebrated their 10th anniversary. I was then the immediate past president, and we had a very, very, very big meeting of international standing. We, at that meeting, discussed a number of issues relating to science and technology and the development of the region. And it's at this meeting that the idea of Carry Science came about, that we need a network of research units to promote excellence in the basic sciences in the Caribbean. And one of the reasons why we work very closely with your National Commission in Trinidad and Tobago is because we are based here for a start in Trinidad and Tobago. Our office is in the campus here, on the campus of the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine campus.
In 1989, NIHUS assumed responsibility for a traveling science exhibition which NIHUS called the Apollo, which is an Amerindian word meaning to discover. This traveling exhibition was one that was conceptualized by the National Commission for UNESCO and its first Secretary General, Sheila Solomon, who got both UNESCO and UNDP funding for the program. That project really was the construction of 24 mobile science exhibits to be taken around the country in the various primary and secondary schools. The project was completed in 1988 by the John Donaldson Institute at the time, and NIHUS assumed responsibility for that project since NIHUS' role was the promotion of science and technology. We assumed responsibility for the project from 1989. That project itself has now turned into a full-fledged science center. So it is one of the success stories of UNESCO, starting off with a mobile traveling exhibition, ending up through NIHUS with a science center. And of course, we do still have a traveling component through our community science weeks and roadshows. So I would say UNESCO played a critical role in popularizing science in Trinidad and Tobago.
There are some other issues of unfinished business. We have, for instance, still to bring to realization the importance of education for sustainable development and bring it to the heart of our education system. We have also started an initiative in bioethics that needs to be completed in the sense that we need to set about developing a system for bioethics and the ethics of science and technology, and implementing high standards in that area with UNESCO's assistance.
The National Commission works to build practices for good governance, sustainability and civic pride through communication and information, by giving assistance for training of media professionals, school media programs, the observance of World Press Freedom Day, and support for indigenous media development.
The communication and information subsector of UNESCO is, for me, I consider it to be unique. Unique in the sense that the range of communication media that it encompasses is not only the public relations communication, it also includes media, it includes ICTs, it includes broadcasts. So it's a range of communication media that you're looking at. Radio Togo is another project that was initiated by the communication and information sector. And for people who may not know, Radio Togo has now emerged as one of the strongest community media organizations, and not only in Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean, but in the world, because Radio Togo won one of the UNESCO prizes for rural communications about 2 or 3 years ago. Banyan is another group that benefited from work of UNESCO.
In 1974, UNESCO, together with the University of the West Indies and Trinidad and Tobago Television at the time, sponsored or set up a training course for the directing and writing and performing for television, because they wanted to try and stimulate more local production in the television. Out of that training, it was a summer course. Out of that training thing everyone got so inspired and so passionate about television and what it could do and so on. The Trinidad and Tobago Television Workshop happened. And out of the Trinidad and Tobago Television Workshop coalesced a small group which started a program called Banyan. And we stayed alive as Banyan, and we're still alive. And we did a lot of productions in the 80s. Most memorable was the Gael series, which was a weekly cultural magazine program. Again, falling within the UNESCO idea of indigenous cultures and so on, and trying to show people themselves. So I would say, looking back on it, that if it wasn't for UNESCO's little summer course in 1974, those things all came out of UNESCO's observing that we could be trusted. We got a track record, and eventually gave us these commissions, which not only, they were not plenty money, but it paid a cost. And what happens is that they still live on.